Hello, hello, and welcome to Celebrate You Live. This is a special. I am Luana Bradford with my amazing co-founder, Miss Barbara Beckley. How's it going, Barbara?
Hello, lady. How you doing? Wonderful to be here. Special Celebrate You Live, and it is really special tonight.
Yes, yes. Some of you may be wondering, what's going on with Celebrate You Live? We're used to seeing you every Friday at 8 o'clock. Well, we're doing something a little different for the second half of 2023. So we're just popping off for really big special moments like tonight. We have the amazing two-time Emmy Award winning bassist, our musical director for Celebrate You Women of the Year, Tony Saunders in the house. And before we bring him on, we just want to do a special salute to the Woman of the Year, Miss Audra Agen.
Different side of me, the one I'd like to be, a different side of me, yeah. You'll find a different side of me, like someone pretty neat, a different side of me, yeah. There are no stop signs, counting down till we take flight. It's how you make me feel, yeah, yeah. Let's call it sick and be lazy. I'm all for doing what's crazy, cause you make it real, yeah. You'll find a different side of me, the one I'd like to be, a different side of me, yeah, yeah. You'll find a different side of me, like someone pretty neat, a different side of me, yeah, yeah. You're changing me, day by day got me shedding skin. The layers are peeled away.
Ooh.
Congratulations, Miss Audra Agen. And now, the man of the hour, it's Tony.
I kind of like that vibe. That was cool.
I know. He was gone.
I was like, hey.
Hi.
Go, Audra. Go, Audra.
It's your birthday. It's your birthday.
I'm glad we're celebrating you.
Yes, yes.
How are you
Welcome,
ladies?
Tony.
How are you ladies doing? My two favorite celebrate you ladies. How are you guys doing today?
Doing great.
Wonderful. Nice
Good to see you.
Yes.
You too. I see we both have the gray going.
Yes, this is the first thing when I get to heaven, I'm going to ask God to say, what's up with the changing hair colors? Why couldn't we just have one hair color? That's all I got to I said, everything else was cool, but I was wondering about the hair color thing.
It's all good. You're looking great. You're looking great.
Thank you.
Well, Tony, I'm excited because you're actually coming to Atlanta.
I am coming to Atlanta. Can you imagine that? And besides all of our busy schedules, Luana, we're going to finally hug. Yay!
That's going to be a beautiful picture.
Yeah.
Yes. It's going to be great.
So I am really excited. You know, this journey, as you know, we started this journey 3 years ago. And
4 years ago. 4 years ago.
4 years ago. Wow.
Because you remember you performed at our ice cream social.
That's right. Wow. 4 years ago. Well, I think that for me to be involved and to be able to celebrate you and share that with other women and men, but mostly to women, and that I came on playing a song that I actually renamed Celebrate You because I was having such a good time. I think I had a song. I forget. You guys know the name of it because I just wiped that name off. But it was like Sexy Cool or something.
Yeah,
you know.
Sexy Cool.
And then at the end of the show, I said, "This ain't sexy something. This is Celebrate You." And so I really have that enthusiasm for you guys. And like I say, I always tell people that they should first thing when they wake up in the morning, they should look in the mirror and celebrate you first because you've been granted another day and you are special. And, you know, I've kept that mantra in my heart. And I watch a lot of your stuff that you guys share with other women and other people. It's really phenomenal. I think that what you guys are doing is really great. And like I tell you guys replaced my Cosmo Tells All. I remember reading Cosmo Tells All. I remember me reading my mom's books back when I was a kid, and I was going like, wow, this is just like Cosmo Tells All. You guys tell everything. You enable people that are doing such a good job in the community I read the lady's story who's the Woman of the Year this year. What a great thing. What a great woman she is. And you know, as long as we can push people to excellence, what else is there? If we can push people to excellence, that's what we're here for. I am so excited to come play music. So I know you guys already know I can play music well. So
yeah, so let me tell the audience a little bit about you. This is really important. So Tony didn't just pop on the scene. As we mentioned, he's a 2-time Emmy Award-winning bassist, composer, producer, and son of legendary Bay Area keyboardist Merle Saunders. Tony's life has been infused with one musical adventure after another. As an arranger, producer, composer, and performer, Tony has conquered the worlds of jazz, gospel, R&B, pop, rock and roll, and more. He earned the first of his 2 Emmys at the age of 14 for collaborating with his dad on PBS documentary Soul Is, and by 17 was playing with Merle and Jerry Garcia on their collaborative projects. The second was earned for his contribution on the TV show Digital Journey on the episode China, Their New Digital Economy. Though he took one of his first musical lessons on piano from Herbie Hancock, the bass he received from John Fogerty's brother Tom, and watching recording sessions with famed bassists Anthony Davis and Lee Miles, it sparked a lifelong passion for that instrument that now, 50 years later, has led to his emergence as a major independent force in contemporary jazz. And you've met some of the biggest musical names in the world. I mean, when you told me how you would come home and just see, you know, certain people just jamming in your home with your dad, that's just a wow factor. But for you, that was normal living, right?
Yeah, it was totally normal. You know, I came home from school one day and Dionne Warwick was sitting in my living room, and I said, "Aren't you the lady with the song about San Jose?" And she said, "Yes, I am. And my husband plays drums with your dad." And I was like, wow. George Benson came there to ask my dad, was it okay if he sang, or would his jazz virtuosity be challenged because he wanted to sing too? You know, not long after that, he did that famous record, Weekend in LA. Jimmy Smith, I moved in Oregon my entire childhood. And Jimmy Smith was a great martial artist. So I'm standing on the corner of 57th and 7th in New York, and I feel this, bam! And he said, "Tony, I told you always to be ready." And I was like, "Uncle Jimmy, what are you doing?" I said, "It's cold out here." He said, "But I told you to be always ready." And I said, "Okay, thank you." But, you know, being exposed to Jimmy Smith, my dad had a record company with Will Chamberlain. You know, it's like the stuff that I could tell you would be like I'm bragging. You know what I mean? That, you know, it was just incredible. I was just in the right place at the right time and got exposed to a lot of great people. I mean, my dad's best friend was Max Gale, who was Wojciech Howitz on Barney Miller. And, you know, so I was at Max Gale's house sitting on the front steps with Barney Miller. I was just sitting there with him talking. And, you know, it's pretty great when you can have relationships that really eschew the better part of America. In one day, and I'm not bragging about this, in one day, I am bragging about this. Wait, in one day, I met Muhammad Ali, Richie Havens, Ralph Abernathy, Marlon Brando, Max Gail was there, Richie Havens, and it's like wow.
Well,
I remember.
I don't feel too bad. So of those people you named, I've met Ralph Abernathy. In fact, his wife was a member of the board of directors for the company that I worked for.
Nice.
And I met Muhammad Ali.
Nice. He was a super nice guy. He sang to me for my 10th birthday.
Oh, he sang.
Oh, he sang
he was
for
in
you.
this.
Well, he didn't sing for me.
But what a nice man, though, right? What a nice, gentle soul. As we know him as this big heavyweight champion of the world, but he was like a real gentle soul, gentle soul. And I remember meeting Marlon Brando, and he was really short, and we see him on the picture. He's the Godfather.
Yeah, he's like
such a large thing. He said, Tony, did you ever notice they never shoot close-ups on me? They'll shoot from the head up close, but they'll never shoot me. They'll always shoot me from a ways away. Stevie Wonder, one other time when I met him, I was playing bass with the Hawkins family, right? And I'm going like, wow, Stevie Wonder's like right there. I'm like a little kid, right? And I go, Stevie, I want to play with you. And he goes, boy, you better not make no mistakes on the Hawkins music. He said, what is this? That's my favorite song. Don't you mess up on that song. He said, don't worry, you'll get to play with me. And he said, but right now you better concentrate on not making no mistakes. And then as he's driving off from a job we were at, Stevie, his brother was driving, right? Stevie picks up a steering wheel from in front of his seat, right? And he pulled up next to this car, right? And I was on the other side, so I'm watching this whole thing go down. So when he pulled off, he goes like this. And the lady, if you could have seen that lady's face in the car, that he looked like he was, although his car went straight, but the lady's face, seeing him go, it was hilarious. And Stevie Wonder, is just like an amazing, amazing man. I also walked in I was at the NAMM show, which is a show where they're selling music products, and they have a stage for people to come up and sing, right? This guy was doing a Stevie Wonder song and didn't know the words, and Stevie Wonder just happened to walk by. And so Stevie Wonder walked up there on stage and was feeding him the words to his own song. And the guy didn't know it till it was over. And somebody said, you know who that is that was feeding you the words? And the guy goes, no, I don't know. Says, that's Stevie Wonder. And the guy was like, oh, holy moly. You know what I mean? but to witness stuff like that, is great. And I think that you women are both doing an extraordinary job. I met you through one of my best friends, Gwen Marshall, who I've known. I knew her husband since elementary school, Ron. I knew him.
Well, let me pause right there. I want to interject something, because to those of you who are watching, this just shows you how life weaves and fuses and connects you to people at 6 degrees of separation. So Gwen and I are good friends, but she gave me one of your CDs probably 12 years ago.
Wow.
And I fell in love with it. And she goes, this is a good friend of mine. I'm like, oh my gosh, she's brilliant. And so who would have ever thought that our paths were going to cross in this way, where there's this collaboration happening, where you're helping Barbara and myself and others to just truly celebrate and elevate women. Yes. And when I met you, knowing Gwen, I knew you had to be just a humble person.
Oh, yeah.
And like what you've shared, all of these, giants who you've met, that was your normal. And I just want to encourage everyone, whatever your life is, that's your normal. And we all have a way of showing up in excellence, respecting and honoring those who cross our paths. And that's what you were doing. I mean, you were this kid being influenced by greats, but now you're a great yourself, influencing the next generation. So can you tell us a little bit about...
I just got a job in San Francisco, in the San Francisco school system, and I'm teaching kids about where our music came from kindergarten through the 12th grade. I'm really excited that I'm starting that in a few weeks, and I'm really excited about that, because that's what it is. In fact, that Soul Is thing that I won my first Emmy for, that was a thing that we got. That was the Soul Is those were kids that were all fed through the Black Panthers through their school lunch program. You know what I mean? So
Wow.
Wow.
a guy walked up to me and said, "Do you know who I am?" I was like, "Yes, you're UEP Newton." And so I met UEP Newton, and I was part of that delivery, delivering the lunches to the kids in the schools. And out of that, it was out of the kids in the school that did the poetry on the Soul Is thing. And it was like great. I also worked for Hardcore Brace and Jovanovic, which was back in the day. Remember those film strips we used to see in school, and then that little ding would go off, and then you move to the next film strip? I made music for those. So that tied into that Soul Is stuff because they were the ones who I think paid for it. And it was just a great thing. It's a really great.
Tony, I want to. I'm interjecting it deliberately because you just said something, and I'd like us to sit there for a minute. I want to turn it to Barbara and then bounce it back to you. And this deals with purpose and what you've done. You've used your God-given gift and talent, and you've honed that. So we want to talk about when it comes back to you, Tony, about how even now, as talented as you are, you're still practicing, still honing your craft, but you didn't just stay in one lane. You looked at how can my gift of music serve to, so not only you're producing music, but as you said, you're writing these jingles and other things, and now you're teaching, music theory, and even teaching, how to play the instrumentality of music. So Barbara, can you talk a little bit about understanding and living totally committed in your purpose? And then I want to turn it back to Tony to add on to that, if that's okay.
Yeah, I always say, Tony and Luana and the audience out there, that when you really into your purpose, in that gift that you have, I don't care what happens in the world, the tornadoes and floods that I always say, you're always going to stand strong because that's your foundation. See, that's Tony's foundation. His music, it's a gift from God that he has, and it's a gift that he loves to do. So he flows in it in every area. In the schools, I mean, he started off, and that's why. And another thing, when you're in your gift, and this is what I'm just learning from listening to Tony, opportunities happen. Opportunities are going to happen. They're going to come to you automatically because you're in that zone. You're in your genius. So I just, I'm just in awe because this is such an example of standing in your purpose. And Tony, you have your wonderful example of that.
Yeah, it is a wonderful gift because I am only fluent in American English, but I've played music all over the world. And because of my music, it's opened doors for me in foreign countries where it might not have been open. I remember once I was playing in Spain, and I knew a little bit of Spanish, but it's not the same Spanish that we learned in Spanish 1 and Spanish 2. But this couple was so enamored with my music playing that they took me to breakfast, lunch, and dinner 3 days in a row. And when I got up, they were waiting in the hotel lobby. You know what I mean? And it was just really flattering that they just wanted to spend that much time with me. And the same thing happened in Portugal. The same things happened in Norway. Norway got me a job because I got to work for the NRK, which is their television station in Norway, Channel 4. And I didn't speak the language, but because of music was an opening, they felt that if he can play music like that, we know that he's a nice person, and we know that he is going to fit into our. And I was invited into people's homes, and and I never met them before. You know what I mean? Or I didn't know the lingo. You know what I mean? In Germany, the same thing. And it's great when you can spread the music all over the world. And then, I like kids. I love kids. I love to be around them. I like teaching opportunities. I was teaching at Tam High School. I was teaching music, assisting the music teacher there, and coaching the varsity football team. Who would have ever thought that I could do that? But through that, I met a bunch of kids that are now turning 50, and they still talk to me. You know what I mean? So obviously, I'm not that coach that they went, oh, there he is. There's Tony. Let's hide. They still are reaching out to me on Facebook and other media sources, and they tell me that they had a good time, and I was able to influence their life. Tupac came to the school I was teaching at, and I saw him go to class. He was great at being a student of the theater. He learned everything about acting, and he knew Shakespeare as well as he knew modern theater. You know what I mean? And the last time I saw him was right after Poetic Justice, and he was going, "Coach, what you doing?" I said, "Hey man, I'm not doing nothing. What's up, Pop?" And he was like, he said, "Man, I'm really proud of what you're doing, influencing the world." He said, "You know, this is the same thing I used to do at school. At lunchtime, all the kids would get together, and he'd rap and do stuff. And they, you know, I remember before he got the job in Digital Underground. You know, I remember when he got the job. I remember how he just blossomed up to be, you know, this huge, normal, bigger than life person. And you know, it's a great thing when you can watch that and witness that. And as we grow to share, that's what life's all about. The world would be a better place if we could all share and be humble and be nice to everybody. The world,
Yes.
we're born out of love. You know what I mean? We're born out of love. And the first thing we do when we're born, what do? We come out of our mother's belly and we climb up on our mother. And we want more love from that because we've been floating around for 9 months, you know, in heaven. And now I'm here with my mom. I can still eat, but there's this guy over in the corner. I wonder what he's here for. You know what I mean? So, you know, we're born out of love. So if we can continue to spread love, be about love, you know, the world would be a definite place. And you women, I support women in every way. You know, I hope that Congress gets that and the Supreme Court gets that through their head. There's no world without women. The world stops. The world stops. You know, so
well, Tony, we are almost out of time, and I don't want to miss out on this other component, and that's letting people know. We already mentioned that you're going to be coming to Atlanta, but some people may say, okay, we're listening to this man, he's talking, and we're hearing about him, and that's great. He's met all of these wonderful people, but can he really play? So we're going to show you a quick video.
Oh yeah, I like that song.
Well, first of all, I want to say
I like the black hair also.
I want to say thank you for trusting me to some of your archives, and I did my little splicing and stuff so we could.
And you did some great edits. You did some great edits in there. That was so good. I was really proud of you. I didn't realize you did that. Those are some great edits. Those are really good. I like that a lot. And I'm really excited to be coming to the Velvet Note, and you know, that it's run by a woman is great. That she's really got this together is great, and all of the fans through Celebrate You that I have reached out to and that are reaching out to me. I appreciate that immensely. And I hope that we all come there because we're going to celebrate Audra. So it's Audra's night. It's not Tony's night. It's Audra's night. But you get to see me in person celebrate her. And, you know, it's a lot. That it took a lot of love to get her to be the Woman of the Year. And let's embrace her, you know, and celebrate her because she's from Arizona, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Let's celebrate her uniqueness and come out and pack the place out so you'll make the owner happy. They have great food. I know that. They have great food, and you're gonna hear some great music. And I'm really excited to come to Atlanta. My daughter lives there. You can meet 2 of my grandkids. They'll be there, and you know, I'm really excited to come down to Atlanta. You know, you never know where I might retire because, you know, it's getting to that point. This don't lie. My daughter is always
we want all of you to join us at the Velvet Note. Please spread the word. It's Friday, June 9th. Friday, June 9th. He's playing 2 sets. You can come to both if you want. 7:30 and 9:30 in Alpharetta, in Georgia. And we are scrolling the information where you can get your tickets. We've also put the contact information in the chat. You're going to see this over and over again for the next couple weeks because we really want you to come and this is about an experience, right? Like Tony said, we're here celebrating Audra, but we're also elevating and celebrating Tony for believing in us and saying, hey, I'm gonna get behind, I'm gonna endorse what you're doing. And Tony, for you first of all, as a man, as a Black man, lifting up women, priceless. Yes. But a man who also has influenced so many around the world that you are willing to lock your brand in with ours. We are so humble and so thankful for that.
And hey, from day one, we have all liked each other. Let them know. From day one, we have all liked each other. We just figured out how to make everything work, which is amazing because that doesn't usually happen. You know what I mean? It doesn't. We've never really had a bad day. You might not have been able to get in touch with me, but as soon as I found out that you guys wanted to get me, I called you right back. You know what I'm saying? And that's because I had strong women behind me. My mom, my grandmothers, they were all like instrumental in me being the man that I am. This lady at the post office a few weeks ago said, Tony, she didn't say my name, but she said, why are you holding the door for me? I said, ma'am, you wouldn't let me carry your package. The least I can do is hold the door for you. And she said, well, nobody does that anymore. I said, my grandmother will reach down from heaven and pop me upside my head if I don't hold the door for you. You know what I mean? So, hey, that's what I do.
Well, it's been great. Tony, we are already out of time. I know you just flew back in town. You were calling me saying, LaWanna, I just walked to the door. I'm like, and I'm almost home. And Barbara's like, I'm coming. So we're all sliding in at the 9th hour.
I was so glad. And when I got in my car, it said an hour to get home. I'm going like, oh no. I had to go to every back road. So instead of it being an hour, it took me 36 minutes. You know, because I went through I went not on the freeway to get to my house. And it was like, I'm going like, okay, think. No, that way slower. You know, I went to, but I said, I got to be there at 5. I said, Lord, I need to be home by 4:45 so I can get ready for the show. And, you know, so luck. Hey, when you're gonna bless somebody, the person who gives you the blessing, make sure that you have a way. So the way that I went, I didn't really run into any traffic. I'm saying, hey, this is good. And then LaWanna, it went in spam. I don't know why your email would go in spam, and we've sent hundreds of emails to each other. You know what I mean? But today it decided we're doing a spam check. You know, I think it said, well, we don't know where this link is good or not. I'm going, that's LaWanna Bradford. You know that link is good. But anyway, I look forward to seeing you guys in 3 weeks from tonight. At this time, this time in 3 weeks, you will have seen me play live.
Yes. Well, Barbara, I'm going to turn it over to you to say a few lasting words for our listening audience. Again, the Velvet Note, go to thevelvetnote.com. Contact information is below. Go and you can get your tickets. 7:30, 9:30 sets. We encourage you to come for both. Spread the word. If you're in the Atlanta metro area, there is no reason you shouldn't be in the house.
Yes.
All right, Barbara.
Yes, and just to add to that, always, as we always say, celebrate you. As Tony started when he says, look in that mirror every day and say to yourself, I'm celebrating myself to celebrate others. And I love that you do that, Tony. So you're in the zone with all of us. Thank you again for coming on. And I want everybody to prepare to get their hands, get that little heart. There we go. See, Tony, no. Yeah, he put it up quick. Love yourself, right? Get that little heart pumping. Love yourself. Then you want to embrace yourself. Ooh, Tony got it on time. But whatever you do, celebrate you. Thank you.
Celebrate you. Goodbye, everyone. And we will see you June 9th to witness Tony Saunders live at the Velvet Note.
All right. Thank you, guys. Much love to you.
Tony. Bye-bye.
Bye.